If you're not going to be at your radio, you can still listen to your favorite programs. Download the KAWC KOFA app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Stream us online at kawc.org or borderradioaz.org, or ask your smart device to play KAWC or KOFA.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we are going to be joined first by John Loera. He is from Legacy Tai Chi, and he's in the building right now. Very calm over there.
Yes. He's in grasshopper stance.
Yeah, it's so cool. This really works. It must work. And,
yeah.
After that, we are going to be joined by Elene Stefanakos from Wheezy. They got something cool going on this week. They're going to talk about that as well. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. And you can stream right now on the Border Radio Facebook page and KAWC YouTube page. And email us at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering solutions for those who value financial planning. YIVWM.com.
Chili from Philly. Unique Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we are joined by a master. Yes. It's always good to have a master on the show, right?
Yes, I can't wait to learn.
Master of what? Master of Tai Chi.
Yes.
We are here joined by John, and I'm going to let him say his last name again. No matter how many times I hear it, I always have a difficult time with last names. John what again?
Loera.
John Loera from Legacy Tai Chi. So thank you for being with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
So let's go back. I'd like to know a little bit about all of our guests. We go back into their history, find out their connection to Yuma. So are you originally from here, or how'd you end up here?
I'm not. I'm originally from Salinas, California.
Okay.
And when I was about 8 years old, we ended up staying here permanently. So.
What was it? Agriculture?
Agriculture, exactly. Both of my parents were agriculture workers.
Oh, cool.
I was going to guess that early on. As soon as you said it, that's usually the
ag
with Salinas. So your family, they would travel here during the season?
Every year. Yeah, every year. Yeah, my father continued to do that until he retired, which is a lot of travel.
So was he in the fields? What did he do?
He was a supervisor in the fields.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Like last week, we had a few people on discussing farm workers and everything that they do.
Yeah.
So what was that like for you growing up like that?
It was tough. But looking back at it, I do appreciate all the sacrifices that my parents made for us. And so, but no, it wasn't easy, but I really loved Yuma. There was something about Yuma that kept me, it kept me engaged. I liked the quietness, and whenever I would go back to the big city, it felt like it was a little too chaotic.
Yeah. Too insane.
So you even kind of felt that at a young age, huh?
At a young age. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So what was it that prompted them to move to Yuma? Did he find a full-time job here, or was it just like he really liked it?
Your father.
Liked it. Yeah, they really liked it.
Yeah, both my parents really liked it here. And so my mom sought out a career in Border Patrol and did some other things during her life. And she retired from that system. And so, they really loved, being here in Yuma. It's crazy if you've ever been to Salinas, there's a lot of chaos.
So I've never been there.
Me neither.
But I've heard like when people talk about coming from that area, it's either like Salinas or Fresno, and then they tell me that it could be crazy or a little chaotic, and then there's like the gang violence and stuff like that in some of the places, or just gang activity or something. Was that something that you saw, witnessed as a young kid?
Yes. I moved back when I was 19, and
really?
One of the things that was common for me was to hear bullets firing off in the middle of the night when I'd go to work.
Oh, wow.
And that was normal for me. And years later, I realized that's not normal.
That's not normal.
It's not normal.
You're like desensitized to it after a while.
Yes, exactly.
So you came here when you were 8, and I think you said you went to Yuma High.
I did.
And then what did you want to do like after high school? Why did you move back, or what was your career?
Even at 16, I was already working at a grocery store. And so it was part of kind of something that came natural for me, and working physically. And I got married when I was young. So by the time I was 19, I had 2 beautiful children.
Wow.
And so yeah, I bought my
That
first
is
house when I was
young.
19. And
Really?
yeah. And
Oh my
so,
gosh.
Yeah. Even though that was, looking back at it, it seems kind of crazy and chaotic. I was able
Fast.
to navigate through that.
Yeah.
It flew by fast. My kids are older, and I'm so blessed to have a great relationship with all of them. And so, yeah.
So you all moved to Salinas? Like back from Yuma, or what happened?
Just me. It was
just
me.
you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
okay.
me that moved back to Salinas. Yeah. Something I had lost my job. It was a temporary job here, and so I moved back. And my father would tell me, "Don't go back to the fields." He goes, "Don't go to the fields." And the thing was that I wanted to try it. I wanted to see how it was. And it
so
wasn't
you
for me.
worked in the fields
I
yourself.
worked in the
wow.
fields.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. What was
yeah.
that like?
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough. But it wasn't something I really wanted to continue to do. I was offered a position at a grocery store over there in Salinas. And that's where I transitioned and just dedicated my life to that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
What did you do?
I was a night stalker. I was a grocery night stalker, which
you
is
worked the
why,
night shift.
yeah, the night shift. Yeah, well, the crazies come out.
That's it. Yeah. People that work the night shift for
was
weird.
it 24 hours at the place? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I heard you mentioned off air that you worked for Kroger.
Yes.
Is that the position that you got?
Yes, I was a manager for Kroger for fries. I managed several of the buildings in Phoenix, here in Yuma, Gilbert, also all through some of the Phoenix area. I managed quite a few of those buildings, and so
You traveled a lot.
yeah.
So did you manage the one here locally?
I did. Yes, the one at the foothills.
Oh, you did the one in the foothills.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did that for a while, and then I think I saw you also doing something with alarms and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I saw my back at the other radio station I was at. Yeah, you came in. You do that part time.
I do that part time. Yeah, with Casey Sounds. He's a great guy to work with and work for, and so he takes care of me. And I do it part time, and it's at my leisure. But whatever I do, I give my 100%, and I think that's why we still have that great relationship.
So the part time. So are you able to do what you do as a Tai Chi master full time? Is that a full time gig? What is that like?
It's full time in the sense that, like, when I'm teaching, after I finish teaching, part of what I do is prepare. There's a lot of working out that I have to do for me to be the best I can possibly be. One of the great things about my teachers was that they always set a great example, and so until they all passed away, I was able to see what an example was of constantly dedicating yourself to this art, this sacred ancient practice, and how it benefited them. And so that's why for me, it's a big deal. And it's not, I didn't just get a certificate and all of a sudden I'm done. No, it was like, that's when the real work began.
So you mentioned the people that you've learned from. How did you originally find Tai Chi? How did that become part of your life?
That's a great question. And I will answer you with a great quote that I remember from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, "No one will ever know the violence it took for me to become this gentle." And the reason I love that is because it took me a long road and a long time for me to really decide what it was that was for me. And I was 28 years old, and I remember my teacher telling me, he said, "John, you're really worked up. You're really stressed out. I think you should try Tai Chi."
So what teacher is this at this point?
This is my first teacher.
No, but like in Tai Chi, like how did you meet this person?
I met him in Phoenix.
Okay, in Phoenix. You're in Phoenix. How'd you meet though?
I met him because I was looking for a martial arts school for my son.
Gotcha.
Oh,
okay.
cool.
And after visiting several schools, I just didn't see the discipline. I didn't see the care until I found this master.
You found this guy you were looking for your son to get him into martial arts. Were you in martial arts before that?
I had been. Yes.
Oh, so you do have a martial arts background.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And what form of martial arts?
Kaju Kembo. Kaju Kembo is a Hawaiian street fighting, is what it's called. Street fighting.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you a fighter?
No, I was not. I had not gotten to that. No.
No, but you did like the discipline.
Oh,
and
yeah. I like getting rough.
okay.
Like sparring.
So you would spar though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You would spar. You like that. You like the contact. You like hitting people. I guess but it's all good.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So you found some discipline, and you found something in martial arts, and then you said like, okay, now my son, I want to get my son involved into this. Have him. How old is he at this point?
He was 8 years old.
He's 8 years old.
Yeah.
8 years old, you're out, you're looking for somebody, you tried a bunch of them, you're like, this isn't offer what I think they should get. Then you found the right one, and you came in stressed out, you came in overworked, and the teacher was like, hey dude, Tai Chi, man. Yeah.
And what I said was, that's too slow. It doesn't make any sense for me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I realized was that whenever I would spar with some of the other senior black belts, I realized that were the ones that were practicing Tai Chi is they were smoother, they were more agile, they were faster. So
More centered.
Okay,
more grounded.
so then this is getting interesting.
Yeah.
So you're in there, you're sparring with other, you said black belts,
Yes, other black
He has two.
and you have
told me
two black.
You have two
okay,
black belts.
so you have two of them, but they have Tai Chi, but in their background they do, and you notice there's something a little bit different about maybe the way they move, they strike, that they're centered. Explain a little bit.
Sure. When it comes to combat, if our minds are on hate or we're angry, we're upset, we don't move the same as we do when we're still, when we're calm. And so that's what it really had to do with, is my nervous system was just a wreck. And what I realized after practicing more and more of this Tai Chi, more of the sacred thing, is my nervous system started getting much better. And so that was a game changer for me.
Wow. And you're still working with Kroger?
No, I left in 2019.
So then,
okay.
So you meet this guy. He says you need to try it. And did you try it right away? Like you said, it was too slow. So how did that happen?
I did try it right away, just because I had so much respect for him that I knew that he was not going to misguide me. you know?
Gotcha.
And so by doing that, it just opened up a whole nother realm of.
So what did you do? Like you went to a class, and then was it slow? It had to have been slow that first day, right? Like it was like, what are we doing here? Moving like. I've seen your videos. Like if everybody's watching, you kind of.
It's like a little dance. I love it.
So, and then you thought, and you told them that's a little slow, right? So, what was it that made you stick? Just because you knew what those other black belts brought to the table?
Since I was a kid, I've always been intrigued by the idea of being mastering something. And in this case, I asked myself, what could I be if I really dedicated myself to this? What could I do? And I never thought to myself, I want to be like my teacher. My teachers didn't teach me that way. My teachers taught me, what could you possibly be if you really gave it your all? Yeah. And so when I would go back and train with my teacher would often say, you've been training. I say, yeah, I take what you teach me seriously. And so I want to practice so that when I come back, you can teach me something new. Yeah. Right. And that's constantly developing, constantly improving, constantly getting better, knowing that there is no end to this.
Yeah. So you're saying you go to the class and they teach you something, and you do what a lot of the other students don't normally do. You actually practice when they say practice at home.
Correct.
Right. Because I've taken different, I was in kickboxing. It's like, you'd come back to it. It's like, well, I could tell you haven't been practicing this at home. You haven't been doing it. You need to go do it, because you're not going to get everything here in this certain session.
Right.
That's why we tell our son with football, like he wants to just pick stuff up like that. And we're like, okay, great, go to practice, but come home, and what you're doing when no one's watching is what matters. What you're doing in the dark is what matters.
That's right.
And he still doesn't do it.
So then now you're doing it at home, and the teacher obviously could tell, like you said, like, wait a minute, like this is different than other students, but it was in the back of your mind that I'm going to master this.
Yes.
Dedication.
Yes. Master. And I got to tell you that by going through that approaching it that way, I have discovered things that I just could not have imagined. I could not have imagined myself being this calm. I could not have imagined myself being in front of big crowds. I've been in front of big, huge crowds doing what I do. But what makes it so gives me that sense of calm is that I feel so in tune with myself and who I am, and I'm unapologetic about it.
I love that.
The thing is that if we're not, there's a great quote that's by Dr. Howard Thurman, and he says, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Instead, ask yourself what makes you come alive, and go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Right. And so I came alive once I had Tai Chi. Why? Because I still love combat. I still love, not in the beating up people sense, but I still love the physicality of
Yeah.
it. But I just have a different approach. I think I just gotten into a place where even touch is a delicate thing, and I would much rather touch somebody with care than to hurt them. And it's something I've changed. I've evolved as a teacher, as a human, and I'm really grateful for that.
And have you seen that affect your family in a positive way? Because you have how many kids?
4.
Yeah, four kids.
Yeah, 4
wow.
kids,
And your wife. So are they all,
Yeah.
did they do Tai Chi too?
They don't. Well, my son, he's a teacher. My son is the only one. He's in the middle, and he's actually become a teacher. The one that I went to go looking for a school, and he teaches in San Diego, primarily the Tai Chi. But he's also schooled in martial arts and also a black belt. And so it's funny because he doesn't call me dad. He calls me Sifu. He calls
Sifu.
Sifu. That means teacher in Chinese. And my grandkids call me Sifu.
I love that. It's like your nickname.
Yeah, and the thing is it's a way of life.
Yes,
again,
exactly.
If it was to me, it was just a belt or some patch I put on, it would be different.
Yeah.
But this is a way of life.
It's not a reward. This is a way of discipline.
Yeah. And it's a natural way of healing our bodies, healing our minds, healing, so much of our humanity. And so, it is deep. It is a sacred ancient practice.
So thank you for letting us dive a little bit into your history about it and finding out how you come to practice it. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we're going to talk about some of those benefits that you talked about. Sure. And if somebody would like to practice out there, what they could benefit from. We're going to do that right after this quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
The Yuma Orchestra Association's Classics by Moonlight concert, featuring the Yuma Civic Orchestra and string ambassadors, will take place on Saturday, November 8th at 6:30 p.m. at the AWC Amphitheater. Both classical and popular music will dazzle under the moon and stars, and tickets are available at yumaorchestra.com and at the event.
This is 94.7 FM. I'm Juan Garcia from the KWC Newsroom. The weather forecast for Yuma today is sunny with a high near 90 and a north wind around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight with low around 65. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs says it will be up to nonprofits to help Arizonans if food stamp benefits end. For more information, visit kawc.org/news. Stay tuned for more What's Up Yuma with Johnny and Ronnie on 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Sunrise Cleaning, serving the Yuma area's residential and commercial cleaning needs. Sunrise exclusively uses eco-friendly cleaning products and provides specialty services such as solar panel, carpet, and RV cleaning. More information and appointment booking at sunrisecleaningaz.com.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here talking to the master of Tai Chi here in Yuma, Arizona, John. And we left with a teaser that we're going to talk about some of the benefits of Tai Chi. Obviously, you kind of mentioned that you're slower to react. You're more calm. You're centered. What are some of the other benefits that you've seen from practicing Tai Chi?
That's a great question. Groundedness. We hear about grounding and how important it is for us to connect to the earth, connect our feet, connect our energy. And grounding is such a important practice of what we do on different levels. And so that's one of the greater benefits of being going through these movements that seem dance-like, but they really are movements that are based in rootedness. And how that opens up the energy lines of the body. In yoga, people talk about chakras, and the truth is that we all have these energy lines within our bodies. Some are a little more stagnant or closed off than others, and that's really what this has to do with. This movement have to do with opening up the body, opening up the energy, and not letting us be stagnant in our energy.
What did you have to do to become a teacher?
Well, I didn't ask for it. That's
It landed in your lap, or what happened?
Well, I think it was just natural. I think I've always been a natural leader, and so in that sense, I was able to share some of the knowledge that had been shared with me. And as I did that, I found that people were changing. People were actually, their lives were improving, and so that caused me to dive into being a better teacher, you know, and how do I navigate? I would ask myself, how do I navigate dealing with teaching different kinds of people, different ages, different styles. And so by doing that, it caused me to kind of become a scholar, you know, and
like keep learning.
Keep learning. Yeah. Why am I, you know, and I'll tell you an interesting thing. For me, my teachers, when they would teach us, we would do forms, we would do these movements. Well, I didn't ask questions. All I did is I did the work. And so ultimately, I was experiencing all this work within myself. And then afterwards, after many years, I was like, why am I feeling so good? Why am I feeling like energy's flowing? You know, why are these things happening? Why am I all of a sudden healthier? Why is my skin getting better? Why are my fingernails getting stronger and healthier? Why is my hair growing back after losing so much of it, you know, for 7 years?
That's funny.
And so as that happened, I began to dive into how the Tai Chi was actually helping me.
Wow.
And it goes back to blood flow. Good, healthy, strong blood flow. And if you ever heard the statement chi, or the chi flow, well, chi is blood and oxygen as it moves through the body. And so that's what we're the component of the thing that moves that energy through the body.
So I have a friend that practices it. He, I guess, when you look at him, you probably wouldn't assume that he does, right? He normally has like his Dickie shorts on and his flip flops and his shirt and his San Diego Padres hat. But he said, and he's a landscaper here. Shout out Jeff. I told him I was going to mention him on the show. So he texted me about it, and he said that it is life changing in so many ways. Physically, the strength gains, better flexibility, the emotional aspect of it, and it's replaced a lot of things that he was normally doing to deal with his anxiety. Spiritually, focus, and then not going too far into negativity and the insecurity, and pulling out the earth's calm, positive, groundbreaking energy. So grounding energy. So but here it is. He's done it. And he said that he started just by watching the YouTube videos, because he was kind of a little, and I'll put him on blast a little bit. He was just a little nervous, right? Like, because it's a slow thing. And he's more like, if you would see him, he's more of a macho type guy. But he did it by himself. And now he got to replace all these other things that he was supplement to get rid of this anxiety. He said it's done it.
Good job, Jeff.
Yeah, seriously. Great job. Yeah.
So Ronnie brought up about you being a teacher. So what was it like? You got to a certain place and then you just started to like, hey, come with me. I'm going to be doing this in the park. And then you said it kind of naturally gravitated. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. When I was in Phoenix, when I began teaching as a black belt, I would teach for my teacher. So I would teach self-defense classes. I would teach different kinds of people, bodyguards, people that did, bouncers. We had several bouncers that would come to school. And so he would have me teach them.
Okay.
So that's how I began to teach classes. And then sometimes there were kids. And so, and then when I moved back to Yuma in 2005, I opened up a studio. I started at the old St. Paul's Church. That's when I first got my business license, and then I got a place on 4th Avenue. And it was cool. I was teaching a bunch of kids, young adults and stuff. But again, what happened with me was that teaching inside of a building was just not the same. It didn't have the same effect as teaching people outdoors, because once I got people outdoors, they were able to connect with nature. Yeah. And that's something that, especially during COVID, we kind of freaked out about that, right? A lot of us were kind of indoors and we didn't know what to do. Well, during that period, I would spend a lot of time outdoors in the sun. And even though it gets 110, 120, I would spend a lot of time in the sun.
Oh, so even in the summer and the heat, huh?
Yes. Yeah, I still do it. I because when I'm not feeling like 100%, I'll just go out there and get in the sun. And for me, it's just a natural healing process.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy to be absorbed.
Yes, exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you mentioned the grounding. Do you practices in the park barefoot? Is that?
No, we use these flat shoes.
Okay.
We use flat shoes simply because we want to feel the connection from our heel all the way to our big toe too. And so as we play with that feeling and groundedness, it does something to the system. It does something to the body.
So how many people usually come to the park?
Well, I only teach privately. I only teach one-on-one.
Oh, now you only do.
Yeah, now I only teach one-on-one. Yeah, I've had the opportunity to teach in different places, teach group classes, but at my level,
Mm-hmm.
I just really would rather focus on people that are super dedicated to it, and that's not something that, I don't analyze.
Yeah.
People know when they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
They show up, and I don't have to tell them you got to be on time. I don't have to tell
They
them
want it.
they're just there because they absolutely want it. And that
Cool.
goes to any age. I have a 12-year-old that she runs to her class. She will actually run to her class, and she'll just absorb and does
That's
the work.
awesome.
And that's when I can really pour out into somebody. And so
when they're ready to receive.
when they're ready to receive. Exactly.
When I was asking you to be on the show, you were like, oh yeah, I'm in Mexico right now. So what were you doing there?
I was teaching at a resort called Rancho La Puerta, a beautiful resort in Tecate, Mexico, and Mexico, I should say. And so the environment is just so beautiful. It's in the mountains, the beautiful, just not only that, but the environment is, the people are great. The people are amazing. The food was great. I haven't eaten meat in almost a month.
Wow.
So all we ate there was just, all they served there was vegetables and seafood once in a while.
Okay.
And so, I mentioned, that I fast. I only eat once a day, and that's been a part of my process of I'm much stronger than I was when I was eating 3 meals a day. But I'm also very careful with how and what I consume.
Do you have like a time you eat every day?
Usually about 2:00. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really too crazy about being on time about that. I just eat when I'm ready.
Oh,
I listen to my body. Yeah.
I'm ready right now. No.
Johnny's hungry right now.
Yeah, I'm always ready. That's my problem.
I love that though about the fasting. My husband has really tried to teach me about fasting, and I'm just like, I don't know, I need to do this before I work out and this and that. I gotta open my mind a little bit more to maybe I don't need that.
Yeah, and I will share this with you, is that the body is a miraculous machine. It really is. And the more we dive into these sacred practices, the more we find out that there's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. Somebody called these things intermittent fasting. I don't know. We've been fasting since it's in the Bible. It's back in those days.
It's been around.
It's been around. Yeah, and it's just because people knew something would happen when we consumed less food.
Okay.
When you consume less food, your body begins to go into a cellular change. And so as that happens, we refresh the thing, on a cellular level in our bodies.
So you mentioned being in Mexico doing this retreat. So these are people that are there on like a vacation, or they're there kind of relaxing, and they could sign up for your class, like a part of a program.
Yeah, what the resort offers is fitness classes.
Gotcha.
And so they have access. The guests have access to all the fitness classes, and so I was there specifically teaching Tai Chi and Qigong and breath work and
wow.
And so even stretching classes. Whenever I that's all part of this this training or this modality that I
that sounds like a dream.
Yeah. Do you get to do that often? Like, is that like they
He's all yes.
Really? So you're there how many times a year?
This was my second time. I go a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time. And they offered me a position there, seasonal. And so
it's a seasonal position.
That's a few months. And yeah.
Is the pay pretty good?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you smiled a little bit bigger right there. Yeah.
Don't want to name any numbers, but
when you walked in, you kind of mentioned like you were doing it, and you were talking about like the world's going to catch up or needs to catch up to this, and then you were like, you know what, I just need to do it, and then just make it happen for myself, whatever that is. And it sounds like you've done that to the point where now you're getting paid to be at a resort,
so cool,
right?
dude.
That's just people's dreams, right?
Exactly.
But you know what brought you there? And what I'm hearing in your story is just your level of determination, and you did not stop.
That's right.
And there's no goal, there's no finish line.
Right.
This is just part of your story.
That's
but
right.
what a cool part.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And, I just want to add to it that when COVID happened, I had no choice but to do my own media. So all the videos that you see, I did them myself. I had to learn a little bit about, how to make videos and all that kind of stuff, which was not easy. But the reason I did that is because whenever I would get connected with people that were in those fields, they never brought out the essence of what I wanted. In other words, I never wanted to water down what I do. I didn't want somebody else's opinion about what I did. I wanted to just show people what is possible. And ultimately, that's what I wanted to do, is show people what is possible when you really dedicate yourself to something like this.
It's beautiful. I'm so happy for you. This is so cool.
So then my next question would be, so you did it, you stuck with it, you could go do it at a resort, but finding people here in Yuma that are interested into it, what was that like?
It was very difficult. And I'll just share with you, you said find. I don't find people to do anything. I am here, and I am people that know about me know that I am here. So anyway, and the reason I mentioned that is, for instance, in social media, we're always trying to show people something or convince people or something, or we're doing this based on economics or whatever. I don't do that. I just show people what I can do. And if people know me, they know that it's actually a miracle that I'm actually doing this, because they know me from the past. We talk about the past.
We need to find videos of that if anybody can get any
old Kroger videos.
Because I know that was before the cell phones had videos and stuff. But if anybody has any old Polaroids or anything,
it's like the shelf is not stocked right.
Yeah, I want to see what he was like.
Yeah, for sure.
But there are people, like you said, a miracle.
They find you.
And then
I love it.
You're putting it out there. You said on social media, you're just doing it, and then people gravitate towards you because maybe like Ronnie was saying, I want to be that calm.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm quick to anger, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I get mad at myself, after I'm frustrated when my kids do something. I want to be like, okay, let's pause, and maybe they're just being kids.
Definitely.
So that's a goal I have. When I have time, I'm going to work with you.
Yes. Yeah. The thing is one of those things is that as you go, as I've gone through this process, I've realized that nobody's better than me. I'm not better than anybody else.
Yeah.
Just because I have a title doesn't mean anything other than I've worked for a certain thing and I'm able to teach a certain thing. Yeah. And the reason I mention that is that even talking with our kids, my kids are all adults, but I love talking to them. I can learn so much from them because they have their own perspectives. And the reason I don't lose my cool with them is because I realize that they're adults. There's a power within them. And so even with my relationships, I don't assume that they should have to hear something from me. No, I don't have to just pour down my opinions on them. What I do is I hold my tongue, and when it's time, then I share love and knowledge with them.
Good
and
lesson.
they do with me. So
so thank you so much for being with us. We are out of time. So if people like Ronnie who are really angry want to find out more about how to take your classes, how do they do that?
They can go find me on social media on either Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and DM me. And
is it Legacy Tai Chi?
Legacy Tai Chi. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Legacy Tai Chi.
Cool.
Awesome. So
Thank you
once
so
again,
much.
thank you so much for being
I feel so much
calm.
more calm.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that as well, John. And we'll be back. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Elene from Wheezy. She's going to be here talking about something cool they got going on this week as well. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering listeners a one-on-one, no-obligation consultation to review their current financial affairs and provide strategies for meeting future goals. More at yivwm.com. Investment advisory services offered through CWM, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor.
This is folk singer Michael Jonathan on Wood Songs this week. Jubilee Young continues the outlaw country legacy of his father, Steve Young, who wrote Seven Bridges Road for the Eagles, plus powerhouse voice of Imogen Clark from Australia, plus an amazing trio of Wood Songs kids. All this and more on the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
Tuesday evening at 7 on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
For KAWC News, I'm Alexandra Rangel. The winter lettuce capital wouldn't thrive without the hands that harvest its fields, bringing fresh produce to stores and our tables. A group of social work students from Northern Arizona University in Yuma want to show their appreciation to the farm workers that work daily in the fields. They're collecting essential items farm workers use every day, like warm gloves, knit hats, and sunscreen. Student Alejandra Lara says each member of the group has at least one family member who works in agriculture.
It's going to be something fun and life-changing because you do see the sacrifice. It's only 12 midnight. They're not starting work until 5, but they're putting so much effort into attending this event.
They're planning to hand out goodie bags with the money raised at the annual Dia del Campesino event in San Luis on December 5th. You can find the donation link on our website at kawc.org. For KAWC News, I'm Alexandra Rangel.
The Yuma Rotary Club will present the 67th annual Walt Cammon Sausage Fry starting at 4:30 on December 5th at the Yuma Civic Center. The event, which will include music and prizes, supports local scholarships administered by Yuma Rotary. Event details and tickets are available at yumarotary.org.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Cubbins, your co-host on Beale Street Caravan. Next time on the program, we'll have Soul Revivalists, St. Paul and the Broken Bones. That's coming up next time on Beale Street Caravan.
Thursday evening at 7 on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
Just kidding.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio as Elene gets herself situated.
She's fighting with the headphones.
Yeah,
she's got
it
him.
was a little bit of battle, but hey, thankfully, guys, I'm here to report she won the battle with the headphones. Yes, so everybody,
they didn't take her
clap
out.
for Elene.
Not yet.
Yeah. So official introduction. We are here with Elene Stefanakos from Wheezy's fame, Wheezy Sports Bar and Grill. And as we do with everybody on this show, we like to get to know our guests a little bit more. I've known you for quite some time, but can you tell everybody where you're from originally and your ties to Yuma?
Yeah. So actually, my name now is Elene McAdam.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
sorry.
No, that's okay. I upgraded, got married to a hunk, and here we are. You know, if you've ever seen my big fat Greek wedding, I don't have Masaka for my lunch anymore. Now I have McAdam. It's way better, easier to spell.
I love it.
So anyways, yeah, my family came here in the 90s. My mom and dad and my brothers and sisters. My dad came here for a restaurant, of course. We're Greek, so we love restaurants. And he opened Nick's Coffee Meal right there on 4th Avenue where the Oriental House is.
Okay.
And
so where it's at now, where the Oriental House is out now, that was the location for your dad's first cafe?
First restaurant in Yuma. My dad was kind of a restaurant gypsy, so he was a restaurant flipper. When he came to the United States in the 70s with $2 in his pocket, he knew turkey and hamburger, and he said, when I got sick of eating turkey and hamburger, I learned English.
I love it.
Within 6 months, he had opened his first, or he had partnered with his first restaurant.
And where was that at?
I think that one was in New York or California.
Okay.
And then he would move to a town. He would locate a restaurant that had been shut down and nobody could keep it open or operated. He would open it up. He would beef it up for a year or two. And then he would open maybe a second location of a different restaurant or a third in that town. And then he would sell them and flip to the next town.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we were gypsies. We moved around a lot. And
so how old are you around this time? Is he doing it the whole time you're a kid? You're traveling around?
We just did a couple cities with my dad. And when we had moved from Kingman to Yuma, my mom was pregnant with her 7th child. And my mom said, I'm not moving again.
Wow.
So at that point, my mom's like, we're doing roots. This is too many kids. It's too crazy.
Did you say 7?
Yes.
There's 7 of you? Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yep. There's 5 girls, 2 boys, a partridge and a pear tree.
So she said, no more.
Yeah.
I will not do this anymore.
She's like, we're not moving. So then my dad bought Foothills Eatery. That was on Foothills Boulevard out there.
So that would be the second location
In
after
Yuma.
the one
Nick's.
at Nick's. So was Nick still around when he got the Foothills?
Yes, Nick's was around, and then at some point, maybe in '92, he sold it off, and then in 2000, I think 99, he built me Fajita out in the Foothills.
Oh,
that
okay.
was my dad's. He built that.
Oh, I remember that name. Yeah. Okay.
Me and Maria used to run that one. It was super fun. We had maracas and big hats and sold margaritas until our arms, like our wrists got.
And how old are you at that point?
15, 16.
Oh,
15
wow.
and 16 in there. So the restaurant
Running the
business is
show.
is in your blood. You're like you were in this since you were young, and now 15, 16 selling margaritas at Mi Fajita. You got 2 Greek girls doing it. All right.
Well, you know, Maria and I were little troublemakers. We're 14 months apart. We're kind of Irish twins. So my mom always sent us to the restaurant with my dad. We were always like get out of the house, leave us alone. She's like, you guys are trouble. I can't manage you. So from 5, 6 on, I was peeling eggs, peeling potatoes. I mean,
Well, it kept you
butchering
busy.
cattle. Oh
Yeah.
yes, we tortured people out out there. We were crazy. We used to rollerblade down the shopping center that we now own on Foothills Boulevard, right next to the restaurant. And we would like put Dial soap on the thing. I don't know. We would steal my dad's cigarettes and go behind the water machine and smoke cigarettes. You know, like we were just little monsters.
Yeah. Well,
so mom says, get out the house and you go over to the restaurant and
create havoc there.
Yeah. And, but you're learning while you're there too, right? And you don't even know you're learning, but you're learning all the ins and the outs.
Yeah. And we always worked in there. I mean, I can't not remember not working in one of my dad's restaurants. So it's just something that we've always done. We love the restaurant business. We love the community. We love customers. And we love food. We're all foodies. So everybody, and my dad was a Farouk. He was a farmer and a cook. So we were always in the garden with my dad. And it's kind of funny because my day job now is in agriculture. My degree is in agriculture. There's a reason my roots are really in there. I love gardening. I love plants. I love all those things. So my dad would always be growing something and then he would show us from from seed to plant. And then we would take it out of the garden and we would cook together. Wow. So it was kind of a love language for my family now that we all kind of are that way. And everybody, all the boys cook, all the girls cook, everybody cooks in my family.
Awesome.
So then there was a point where there's 3 restaurants, or Nick's it was sold, or was just me fajita and the Foothills.
They had one desert. Or no, where was it? In Welton. I forgot the name of that Desert Cafe, I think it was called, or something like that. But I think it burnt down.
Oh,
it's
no.
funny. So after my dad sold me fajita, it burnt down. And not us.
Yeah.
And
you're like, no, wasn't us.
Wasn't me. But
it wasn't us. It's smoking cigarettes in the back.
Next to the flammable gas.
I was like 7. So
oh, okay, good.
that, little kids do crazy stuff.
They do. They do start fires.
Parents, we're like, oh, we need to, smoke a cigarette. But probably why my mom's sending us up there with my dad. We're little troublemakers. We're
like, I can't take it.
Yeah.
Bad influence on the babies.
Totally. Oh, still.
So then the one in Welton, the one in Welton might have burned down.
That one, after my dad sold it, that one burnt down too. And then it was kind of ironic because when we got Wheezy's, actually 8 years ago last week we opened. So about 8.5 years ago, we worked with Ross Waite and Betty and Build and Ice, and we got Wheezy's. It was a shell. It was a burn down.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Parishes. It was something.
It was Parishes. It was originally Tilly's and Kat's. Then it was Parishes, and they had a kitchen fire or something, and it burned to the ground. So when we got it, it was just a cement floor in part of the place and 4 walls.
Wow.
I don't even know if it had a roof at that point. I can't remember, but it was really cool because we redesigned the place.
Exactly.
The kitchen was too big before. I think we may have made the kitchen too small. So like Goldilocks situation here, not too small, but it's a little squishy in there. We have to be very creative with storage. Sometimes the dishwashers want to kill us. They're like sardine, and they're like, sorry. Too late now. What are you gonna do?
We'll just handle it.
Yeah, we have to get really creative with connexes and stuff like that. So it's cool. But so those are 3 here. My dad had, I think, 26 total in his life.
Wow.
So he was definitely a restaurateur. And my dad had us doing the books at 15. So we would pay the bills. We would, run the floor. We would do everything you can imagine inside and the back. So we've all worked every position, can work every position.
And is that what he wanted for you guys, to maybe also do restaurants, or?
Some of us, I mean, when I was younger, I said I would never own a restaurant because my dad would work on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, you're married to it. There's no way around it.
And so I always thought, I'm never going to do this. I'm going to go, well, here we are.
Here we are.
Never say never, because a law of attraction, they don't know negatives. So I said, I'll never do restaurants.
Yeah, and then there you go.
That's right.
So it was the Foothills one that was originally taken over by Maria, right?
Yes.
Was that how that worked out? Because
my dad got sick. He had dementia and Alzheimer's. And so I'm going to say in 2003, that started to kind of show a little bit. And so at one point, I can't remember the year. No, maybe 2005, it started to show. I moved back here in 2006 to be close to help take care of him. And I think Maria took over completely around that time, maybe 2000.
Where
I don't
did
know.
you move from?
I moved from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, that's where you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had moved out to Dallas, Texas with my practice husband.
We had talked about, she had an 18-year practice husband.
We practiced what not to do and all the ways not to be and like how to be.
That's why your marriage now is like, oh, this is great. This is easy.
Easy,
This is
breezy,
cake.
amazing. I have the most amazing husband.
Aw.
And he also had a practice marriage. So
What's your husband's name?
Bull.
Hi, Bull.
Yes.
Wow. That's a cool name.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. My husband's really lucky. He's just such a giving, kind, beautiful person.
Yeah.
He's so lucky. He won. This is a cool story about him. He went on The Price is Right and
What?
won the whole show and the Showcase Showdown.
What? I didn't know
Oh
about this.
my
So, wow.
God.
I haven't heard this story.
What did he win?
He won
Like-
a bed, a jacuzzi, an RV, a
What?
fan, a computer. I don't even know. It was with his
He
practice
is
wife,
a
so
lucky person.
I saw the episode.
You weren't
Look
there
it
for
up.
it, but you watched the episode.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so you moved back from Texas and then you started helping?
So at that point, I started helping take care of my dad. And of course, I got back into the restaurant. I have always worked with me and Maria always worked hand in hand in restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad died, I think, in 2012. We had probably been taking care of him pretty severely for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, but he got to meet my kids. I'm really glad.
Yeah.
You know, I was like a teen mom and I was 19 and had a kid. And
Oh.
when I was first that happened, I would like look down on myself. And now looking back at life, I feel so blessed that I did that
Yeah.
because my kids knew my dad.
Oh,
And otherwise
yeah.
they
Exactly.
wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny how you look back on life and things
Yeah.
like that. Maybe when they happen, you're like, this is the worst thing
Yeah.
ever. And then you look back and you're so grateful for them. So that was,
I agree. My oldest got to spend like 15 years with my dad before he died. My younger one's only like 6 when I have 4 and 12 weeks,
Mhm.
you know? So yeah, it was different. No, I completely relate with that.
I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so maybe in 2014, Maria and I started flipping houses, which we bought one from your
Yes,
husband to
that's
flip,
right.
which on 6th
But
Avenue.
yeah, and you guys made it beautiful.
We
It was like
did.
crazy different. It was cool to walk through it and see the final product.
Yeah. So Maria and I started flipping in 14. I think we bought yours in 19 or
Mhm.
20. We flipped a whole bunch of houses early on and we would do all the work ourselves. We would like
Wow.
tile the roof or the floors. We'd re-roof. I re-roofed in a bikini one time. So awesome. It was too hot. It was too
Yeah,
hot.
that's hot.
I'm like, I don't care.
Do what you got to do.
Hot on hot. So anyways, so we had this idea. We just wanted to open our own place. Like the eatery, we loved it. It was my dad's.
Because it was like a staple in Foothills. Obviously,
Yeah.
Foothills Eatery, that's a staple. A lot of people go there. It's a seasonal thing for sure because when the winter visitors come in.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
but it's not yours.
Yeah, it wasn't our idea. It wasn't our menu. And so we always were like, the Foothills needs a cool place that has entertainment and TVs. And we want to do a lot of events. We want to have a place for community to come together and, you know, have bands come in and not just a sports bar, but a sports and entertainment bar.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So we sat with that idea for a while. We saved up. We never even spent one penny of any of the flip money we earned.
Oh.
So you're flipping the houses, you're doing all this, and you're putting money in the bank,
Mhm.
and you're thinking of this idea while you're on the roof in a bikini, saying like, "We're going to make this happen."
Yeah. And we would just, you know, do karaoke night and sit there on bar napkins and be like, we're going to
That's
do
cool.
this. We're going to do that. Like
Yeah.
just being
manifesting.
totally manifesting, just having fun with it.
Yeah.
And we kept looking for a building and we wanted it in the Foothills. And it was like, every building was like too old, too this, too that. And finally we had gone, when I gave up, this is so funny.
So when you gave up, this
When
one
I gave
happens.
up,
Let's take
I
a break real
surrendered.
quick. We're going to take a break. We're going to leave people in suspense. We're going to take a break.
Yeah, we
We're
gotta
going to
get that
come back
break in.
and find out how it all worked together to give us the Wheezies we know today. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Ever wanted to be on the radio? Still talking into your hairbrush in the mirror? Border Radio needs you as a volunteer host. Share music, stories, and local conversations that matter. No experience necessary. We'll provide the training. Email info@borderradioaz.org or call 877-838-5292 for more information.
Hear the rhythm. Feel the beat. The
Let your curiosity run away on the Latin Alternative. Hi, I'm Josh Norek. Every episode of the Latin Alternative takes you on a thrilling rendezvous of sonic and exotic landscapes in Latin rock, funk, hip-hop, electronic, and tropical music. Join me and my co-host Ernesto Lechner on the Latin Alternative.
This evening at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
Blood services provider Vitalant is hosting blood drives at Yuma locations on an ongoing basis. Daily personal emergencies and ongoing medical needs of thousands of patients require a constant and ready blood supply. Donations of all blood types, especially O, are needed. Locations, dates, and appointments at donors.vitalant.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here with Elene McAdam talking about Wheezy's, and we're going to find out when she stopped and she kind of gave up and couldn't find the right building. What happened?
Yeah, so I just kind of said, like, this isn't going to happen, and gave up. And I don't remember if Maria called Ross Wade or or he called us. I honestly don't remember. And we went and looked at the building and we met with him.
And at the building, you're talking about the burnt down building, like this thing that's just walls?
And no roof.
Maybe a roof. I can't
maybe. Who knows?
You walk in, you're like, this is perfect. I'd be like, what is this?
Blank slate, which is like,
that is pretty cool though.
Yeah. So when you've been in it your whole life, you kind of want to design what you want.
That's right.
So Ross ended up, he had a big list of people that wanted it, and he really liked our idea and he liked us, and he just went, you guys got it. And he trusted and believed in us. And we were really honest with him about how much money we had, which wasn't an incredible, huge amount.
Sure.
And he was like, we're going to make it work. And he ended up actually selling the building to Bill and Betty DeNice, who are also some of our mentors. I love them. And I love Ross. They've been so good to us, and they've taught us so much. And every time we have a business deal or something going through, we call on them to help see if it's sound or not.
Exactly.
Like, they're just seasoned investors and really smart business people.
Definitely some big names here in Yuma, right? The people like you're blessed to be able to have a relationship with them.
Very blessed. And they're such humble people, and they're like salt of the earth, where they have balanced life. So like, there's all these bagillionaires out there, people that are really rich, but maybe they don't have good values.
Yep.
Maybe they don't have the balance with their family and
That's
giving
right.
back and all the things. And both of those people do. So I like to surround myself with people.
Yeah, you want what they have.
I want what they have. And they both have healthy marriages.
Exactly.
They both are, good to their kids and all the things that I want to be and am striving to be.
Exactly.
And am actually doing. Well, not
It's rubbing
always
off.
great.
It's working.
Trying.
So the building was yours.
So the building was ours. Ross sold it to Bill and Betty DeNice under the agreement that they would build it out for us. And they did. And we walked through Bill's warehouse, and we recycled as much stuff out of his warehouse as we could.
That's
because we were
cool.
on a budget, and because we were like, this is going to be vintage, funky, retro, urban, like upcycle, whatever. And literally half the stuff in there was just laying around.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you got the building, and then how tell everybody how the name came to be, Wheezy's.
Yeah. So, this is a good story. So we believe that names of companies have huge significance. And so we were going back and forth. We had the flip company was YOLO. You only live once. So like every time we were scared to invest or scared to do something, we'd be like YOLO, and it kind of like pushes you forward.
I love that.
Yeah. And so this one, Maria's son always had asthma and was always wheezing. So we called him Wheezy. So we ended up naming it after Maria's son. And like, what a better play,
Yeah.
Which one is that? Is that the one that's in high school now?
Elias.
Yes.
At Yuma
I
Catholic.
saw a picture she posted. Yeah. Of him and in his football outfit.
Oh my
outfit.
goodness.
My husband would kill me. It's a uniform. I say outfit.
Me too.
So you got the name, you start building it out, and you got to put together a menu. Did that come easy since all of your past and restaurateurs?
That was a labor of love. And actually halfway through the build out, Maria and I both realized like, hey, we're not going to be able to run this place. Maria's got a restaurant. I had just started a career for the county, and which I still work there now. And I'm like, we can't juggle all this well. So then we called Lula, who was running some bar bars up in Denver.
Mhm.
And we were like, we'll give you, part ownership if you come down here and run it for us. We didn't think she was going to say yes, and she did. Thank
Wow.
goodness.
And that's
Yeah.
your sister.
Yes, that's another sister.
Lula.
Yep, we still have another sister in Denver who has 2 restaurants and a tap house with her husband and their family.
Oh my god.
So yeah, we're feeding the people.
Feeding the world.
Feeding the world and also making them drinks.
So she came down and agreed to run it then.
She did.
She help come up with the menu? Or?
Yep, she came up with the menu. Maria came up with the menu. I did some stuff. I did a lot of taste testing. So
That's the fun part.
Yeah, everybody kind of had their area of
Yeah.
expertise. Mine's always been financial and organizational management, leadership,
Okay. So
running
that's
the
your
books,
skill.
finance.
Yep.
Yeah, all that, running teams, management, that kind of stuff. Maria has always been the food person. She is just a savant at it, at
Nice.
making recipes, all the stuff.
Oh, cool.
And Lula was always our drink entertainment person.
So the 3 of you are quite the powerhouse.
Yeah, it's Trace Trifecta is actually the company name.
Oh.
So it's the 3 makes the triangle.
Yep.
And then DBA Wheezy's. So
That is really neat.
Yeah.
So tell me about opening day.
Whew.
Well, how long did it take from like the building's ours?
4
to-
months.
Is that fast?
That's extremely fast.
That's unheard of.
Wow.
It was really in alignment.
Yeah,
so
that's
everything
unheard of.
was just easy. It was so wild how, it was
It just
4
flowed.
months. It flowed. And actually, come full circle to my dad's $2 story. What happened was October 17th, 17, we had about $2 left and we had to open.
Wow.
We literally maxed out every credit card we had, spent every dollar we had, and we laugh about it now. We're like, how funny is that my dad came here with $2 and we ended up opening with $2.
$2.
Here we
open
are.
the doors and then
We're like, we literally can't do anything else. So
we gotta do
we
it.
need money.
We weren't even ready to open, and we said, "F it, we've got to do it." Like we're gonna sink here. So
we
was
can't go
crazy.
negative. We gotta just keep going. So what was that like opening day?
I actually, this is so funny, but I got sent on a business trip to Washington, D.C., and I was at a USDA conference with the president of the USDA and this huge, so Maria and Lula had to open it
Without you.
And I'm watching on camera and like full panic for a week up in D.C. I don't know. God had a different plan for me that week.
He's like, you shouldn't be there.
Yeah,
You
shouldn't be
should-
there.
it's probably best if you're not there.
I'm gonna pluck you and put you somewhere else.
Seriously. So I was there for the soft opening, and that was amazing with private friends and
Yes,
family. But
yes.
I made it back a weekend, and it was pure chaos. It
Wow.
was awesome.
All the learning experiences.
Woo,
I
yeah.
bet.
So you say, how long has it been open now?
8 years last week.
8 years last week. Oh my goodness.
It was Wheezy's
Congrats.
birthday. Thank you. Yeah, it's when we opened it, it was kind of like, well, we don't know how this is going to go. You just never know. And it's just been, the community has been so amazing. We have the best customers. We have the coolest customers. Like last week, we had the Bridget's Gift Takeover on Wednesday, and the Boot Fill and Royal Metro came out to do that. And they said they beat their record on collecting. They're like, your patrons, your customers are so giving. And, that's part of the model of our business. We do 2 takeovers a week. We give back. We've given back hundreds of thousands of dollars to the community. We want to support sports people that are sick, any of those things. We love doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think I didn't go to Bridget's Gift, but I did see some video, and you got to speak at it. I think you got to go up and talk about it, right? What was that like for you?
Well, about 20 minutes before, they're like, "Hey, you want to go on stage?" Kurt goes, from Rural Metro? He goes, "Do you want to go on stage and talk about what we raised?" And I said, "Okay,
All right,
alrighty then." And he's like, "Are you sure you're going to be okay?" And I was like, "Sir, do you not know me? I am good. I'm good with crowds. I don't."
You did great.
Yeah.
I saw the video. You did great.
Thank
So
Yeah,
that-
you're
that
a
was-
people person.
I love
no
people.
doubt.
You
Yeah.
just got up there and slayed. So we're going to be wrapping up here, but you got something going on.
Yes.
You're going to launch today. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah. So on Friday, I was talking to my bonus daughter, and she is a government contractor at YPG. She was laid off, just like tons of people we know.
Yeah.
And she's part of the furlough, and she's been struggling. And she, has been hitting the pavement, applied for unemployment, applied for food stamps, applying for jobs, getting out there. Thank goodness she got a second job. She already had a second job. She got a second job. And she sent me this picture, because I used to work at the food stamp office as a social worker.
Okay.
She sent me a picture of her food stamp approval thing saying, "Sorry, we have no benefits available." people.
Yeah.
And so I got really inspired to do something. I'm like, my grandbaby's not going to starve. And I know she's not. Everybody's struggling with this. And so we came up with the Feed the Forgotten campaign. We're going to do free tea or coffee for any furloughed government employees and government contractors. So we want to give you guys a place you can come in and come together as a community. We know money's tight. So come in, meet with your friends, keep your head up during this time. You know, government forgot about you. We don't. We got your back. We're going to do a Feed the Forgotten board. So you can take a meal if you need one, buy a meal to give back. We've pledged $1,000 in meals so far. So if you go into Wheezy's and you've got something to give, you can buy one for $15 and put it on the board. That's for, you know, anybody that's on food stamps or that's suffering right now. And the other thing we're going to do is free Kids for Pasta all day, every day for anybody that has an EBT card or has a CAT card. So if you're a government furloughed, we're going to feed your kids until the government gets back up.
Very cool.
So cool.
Yeah, very cool.
I love that.
Thank you so much for being with us today, telling us the history, and good luck with the event.
You guys are amazing.
We love you guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. And with that, What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornelas, Juan Garcia, and Dave Reek.
And you can find out more about KAWC at kawc.org, on Facebook at KAWC Radio, and on the KAWC app. And stay tuned following our program for KOFA Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's program, we're going to have Devin Madrid. I believe that's how you say it.
Yes.
He's a new chiropractor here in town, as well as our very own here at AWC, Scott Gross, about sports.
And you can listen to the podcast at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio, and email us at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com. That's it.
That's it. All right.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so much for being
coming.
with us. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering solutions for those who value financial planning. YIVWM.com.
Broadcasting from Yuma campus of Arizona Western College for more than 55 years, this is Border Radio, 94.7 FM, KOFA Yuma. We also broadcast at 1320 AM in Yuma at kawc.org and on the KOFA app.
The North End Artists Cooperative presents its North End Art Walk on Saturday, November 22nd from 10 to 3 on Yuma's Main Street. Celebrating Yuma's vibrant art scene, over 60 local artists will showcase their work, including visual, 3D, and wearable art. More details are available at Yuma North End Art Walk on Instagram.
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with